Welcome, seekers of meaning in an age of noise, welcome to Whispers of Turkish Stars. Take a breath with me, lower the chatter in your mind, and step into a quieter room. We live in a time where love is often measured in uploads and public confessions, where everything feels like a broadcast. But what unfolds when one of Turkey's most luminous figures resists the megaphone and chooses hush over spectacle? Tonight, we're exploring Alina Alp Navruz, and a New Year's message that said less on purpose and somehow revealed more than any glittering toast could. This is a portrait of growth, limits, and a gentle rebirth. Before we dive, if you believe that real stories sometimes whisper, tap like, subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars, and if you want to champion a kind of commentary that listens as much as it speaks, the join button is here for you. While the planet erupted into 2026 with thunderous fireworks, choreographed parties, and champagne poses carefully aimed at lenses, one woman took a different route. Alina did not upload the standard flute of bubbles shot. She didn't offer a rehearsed grin under a disco ball. Amid the endless scroll of curated joy, she shared a line that stopped the feed like a needle lifted from a vinyl record. In 2026, the one thing I wish to shift is, and then. Only an echo, an intentional pause, 3 trailing dots. No neat ending. No definitive answer. A blank space left uncolored. Interpretations exploded at once, sparkling across timelines and talk shows. Tabloids lunged for the juiciest angle, reading the pause as trouble. Was it an indirect swipe? A veiled farewell to Alp? A bruise dressed up as poetry? Yet here at Whispers of Turkish Stars, we didn't hear a cry, we heard steadiness. The cadence of her words wasn't uneven or frantic. It felt grounded, like a decision quietly settled long before midnight ticked over. People close to Alina, the kind of friends who witness transitions rather than headlines, describe a shift that's been unfolding for months. She no longer sees her life as a series of things that happen to her, she's stepping into each day like a deliberate choice. That one thing isn't a person. It isn't Alp. It's the way she interacts with the world around her, how she speaks, how she defends the soil beneath her feet. Picture re-editing a film without swapping its cast, just changing its tone, its pacing, its light. That's the current Alina is carrying into this year: tighter language, gentler rhythms, a softer touch for those who've earned closeness, and far more defined boundaries where confusion and intrusion tend to creep. Fans have long held Alina and Alp in frames that looked impossibly smooth, perfect red carpet glances, affectionate pauses, the kind of chemistry that spawns dreams and slogans. Reality is wilder and more precious. Schedules collide. Offers in different countries pull them in opposite directions. Each ordinary moment risks becoming public property the instant it's seen through a stranger's lens. In that climate, a promise to change is not a threat to love, it's a blueprint for protecting it. What Alina suggested with that unfinished phrase is a partnership that depends less on volume and more on clarity, fewer loudspeakers, deeper conversations. She and Alp have weathered stretches of distortion, where whispers from the outside felt louder than their own voices. 2026 is not their year of retreat from each other, it's their year of shelter building. They're not pulling back from love. They're erecting a gentle barrier around it, digging a moat to keep the dragons of rumor at the far edge. One of the most striking steps in this recalibration is her choice to trim the public footprint of her private life. Friends say she's begun repeating a sentence like a quiet motto: fewer explanations, more living. In a world where every tender moment becomes content and every difficult hour becomes a headline, she is choosing the opposite. This isn't simply dodging paparazzi. It's about what you might call emotional hygiene. Alina wants intimacy that breathes because it isn't watched, a connection that doesn't need proof to exist. With less noise, she can hear her own heartbeat, and just as crucially, she can hear Alp's without feedback or static. You can't take stock of this turn without noticing the harmony in Alp Navruz's recent language. Known for discipline, for courtesy, for that understated calm that settles a room, Alp has been circling a single word: balance. Work versus rest. Public generosity versus a private refuge. Both of them landing on the same theme as the calendar flipped is no coincidence. It points to a bond moving beyond adrenaline and novelty into an intentional alliance. At a quiet New Year's dinner among close friends, Alp reportedly said something like, "We're not seeking to redesign our lives, we're aiming to simplify them. Consider that their compass. Fewer notifications, more eye contact. Fewer performances, more unphotographed laughter. A clear circle drawn around what truly counts. Maybe the bravest piece of Alina's decision is letting go of the need to please everyone. For years, people projected onto her a version of the endlessly pleasant heroine, a consistent smile, a promise to keep the peace no matter the cost. But real growth often requires tolerating someone else's disappointment so you don't betray your own center. Those who know her say she's done writing footnotes justifying choices that protect her well-being. This isn't a purge. It's a reorganization. Imagine a long dinner table, the table of her life. The seating chart is being revised. Those who thrive on friction and spectacle are nudged to the edges. Those who arrive quietly, kindly, truthfully, like Alp, are placed where the candlelight is warmest. Read that half sentence again, not as a lament but as a floor plan. It wasn't heartbreak speaking. It was architecture. Alina has no interest in being a character in a story arranged by strangers. She's taken up the pen, tuning the chorus around her until the melody matches what she actually feels. And in the small, protected space the two of them are crafting, made of shared quiet, shared rules, and the sort of respect that doesn't need applause, love gets a fair shot at enduring. There's a kind of romance that grows only under spotlights, fed by flashes and the jolt of approval. And there's another, forged in unglamorous hours, early calls before dawn, late nights with phones face down, where being present matters more than being seen. That second kind is the one Alina and Alp appear to be choosing. The plan is simple: hold tight to what matters, set aside what doesn't, and let the world debate while the two of them do the slow work no one else can do for them. So, family of Whispers of Turkish Stars, I want to ask you. In a culture that treats privacy like a scarce resource, how does this choice sit with you? Do you prefer couples who make their love a public archive, or does this protective mystery draw you in more deeply? And what about your own sentence for 2026? How would you finish it if you left it open on purpose? Tell us in the comments. Let's turn this space into a shared notebook of intentions. If you appreciate this way of reading between the lines, tap join. It's a way to say you value depth. And ring the bell, because we'll be following this quietly radical love, episode by episode, without rushing to conclusions. Some will insist this is a phase, a seasonal promise destined to evaporate under the first heat of gossip. We disagree. From the texture of that caption to the synchronized language around them, everything suggests strength. This wasn't born of fear, it was born of clarity. And clarity doesn't shout. It endures. It survives noise not by overpowering it but by refusing to engage until something truer has room to grow. For anyone still hunting for a hidden goodbye in that unfinished thought, allow a different translation: it's not a curtain drop, it's a horizon line. It invites each of them and each of us to choose what gets transformed and what remains sacred. To draw firm borders where there were none, and to erase the ones that never belonged. We've reached the end of this reflection. Alina Boz gave us the most thoughtful beginning to a year, not a pose, but a question. And there stands Alp Navruz beside her, sharing this silence not as absence, but as an active choice. If this episode stirred something in you, leave a like and send it to the friends who care more about substance than spectacle. Subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars for more stories that look past the headline and into the heartbeat. Thank you for being here. May your 2026 be full of meaningful, quiet, and lasting love. A warm embrace from Whispers of Turkish Stars. See you next time.